Moving on to pro wrestling, we got the Money in the Bank show coming up this weekend. The go-home edition of Smackdown was Tuesday night. Smackdown ratings terrible. Raw ratings not good.
Well, the Raw rating we can throw out. I mean, there's nothing that can be gleaned from the Raw rating. Yeah, look, I mean, the competition was just too fierce, and the rating, I guess the rating was, you know, in the realm of what I expected it to be, but even if it was a lot lower or a lot higher, I would just throw it out. It means nothing. The SmackDown rating, it's a lot harder to, you know, say. I think that the thing with the SmackDown rating is, and there must be something to this, that because so few people, by comparison, watched Raw, you would think that that doesn't affect SmackDown, but it clearly did, because there's no reason that the SmackDown rating should have been any lower. There was no competition. I mean, the news shows did well, but that's where they got hurt. SmackDown got hurt with the under 35 audience. I mean, it's all broken down in the issue. The over 35 audience was down a little bit, but the under 35 audience was way down from last week.
Do we ever get like hourly numbers, like good hourly numbers for SmackDown? Like, does the first hour do better? Does the second hour do better?
The second hour almost always does better, but
okay.
no. But no.
'Cause I watched the show, and it wasn't a bad show, but
no, it was just there.
It was just, that was exactly it. It was just there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But it wasn't, no, I watched it and I thought, you know, it's fine. I thought the Charlotte and Talia match was good. Six-man tag was good, but not off the charts. Promo-wise, I don't know. I don't know. The
Sami Zayn promo?
Well, that wasn't good. But that's not the first time they've done that. That's the problem isn't that specific promo. The problem is the mentality, like of Sami Zayn and Bayley.
Well, to be fair, of all of the times they've done this with Sami Zayn, this was actually the least offensive time, because at least Nakamura let us know that he liked the guy afterwards. Normally, Sami's buddies walk off on him. So this was an upgrade. It's still a terrible character, but it was an upgrade.
It is, but I almost thought the way I viewed it was that it showed that, like, Nakamura was, because one of the problems when they do like foreigners who talk broken English, the WWE and their mentality, they treat them like, you know, like their characters become like children, kind of like when they had minis and the minis acted like children.
Like Tozawa, when he didn't know what was going on. He's like a little kid in a suit. Right.
Tozawa's the perfect example. And Nakamura, you know, and I mean, and you know, they did it with Kai and Tai and with, you know, Santino Marella, you know, even though Santino Marella spoke the language, you know, it was broken enough and everything like that, and the character was like that. So, I mean, that's just in their mentality what they do, and I thought that it was more of a thing of, you know, that Nakamura has just got this childlike thing where he thinks that this weirdo is just kind of cute, whereas AJ just thinks he's a weirdo. So I didn't know that it was necessarily a benefit to Sami Zayn as much as
it definitely was not a benefit, but it's better than when he's doing that and his two partners just walk off screen and leave him alone.
Well, yeah, it was better than that segment, of course, but you're like talking about like, okay, they did something really, really dumb, and this time
yeah, this is only mildly dumb.
And this is only mildly dumb,
sure,
right? Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm looking for any improvement I can find.
That's not an improvement. That's still a negative. It's like when you watch WCW in those terrible years.
But it's an improvement over horrible.
Okay, but when you go, okay, so you saw a show, WCW, when they were going down.
Yep.
One week you had this doubly, horribly, terrible show.
Yeah.
And the next week it was just normal, horrible.
Yeah, that's an improvement.
No, it's not. The ratings
it's still an improvement. It's still terrible, but it's an improvement.
No, the ratings continue to decline. The ratings don't go up after minor horrible. They continue to decline because it's still horrible. It's not a benefit.
I'm talking artistically. This was better than before.
It was better than the worst segment that they've done with Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Absolutely,
yes.
Without a doubt.
Yes,
but it was no benefit to Sami Zayn.
No.
So anyway.
It was better. Who cares? Anyway, what else was on the show?
God, the crowd was dead for so much of the show.
Yeah, they were dead. How about Jinder's awesome promo and lack of wrestling?
But you thought Jinder was okay, I thought. I mean, when he got a lot of heat when he started talking in Punjab. When he was talking in English, he got, you know, moderately decent heat.
They chanted what at him?
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Look, what are you going to do? We knew, look, he's not good enough for the spot in the sense of if you're just going on merit and just going on ability. He's not like, you know what I mean? He's not this guy where you just go like, oh my God, this guy should be on top. He's on top for a reason, and it has nothing to do with North America. And if it works in North America, that's only a benefit. You know, I mean, you hope that this rating isn't due to him, and it's not. I mean, honestly, I think that the rating is due to the fact that fewer people watched Raw this week and they just didn't watch SmackDown.
I don't think we can discount Jinder.
Well, if we have a pattern of this, we can't. If it keeps going, if it keeps at this level or goes down from this level, and this becomes like a continual decline, I would say that we can't discount it at all. It's a 1 week thing, and you know, it's about the trend, and the trend is so far, you know, has not been either good nor bad. You know, it's neither. You know, and the house shows. I mean, it's still a little early on the house shows because, but you know, it's a different era. It's not like, you know, it doesn't matter who the champion is. It's not like the old days where you pick the wrong champion and business goes, you know, business tanks. I mean, that's.
Well, I don't know if we should say that quite yet. Let's give it a little time.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that like Cena's coming back in a couple weeks. So even if Jinder's a complete flop, Cena's gonna raise the bar enough to where
if he stays on SmackDown, he's a free agent.
Yeah, whatever that means, right? Yeah.
What that means is, you know what that means to me? That means he's going to Raw. Because if he wasn't, why would they list him as a free agent? He's been on SmackDown. Like, there's no reason to list him as a free agent unless the plan is for him to go somewhere else.
Okay, you know what they could do is go, you know what? John Cena is really valuable to us, and he doesn't need to work house shows anymore, even though he's the biggest house show draw they have. And the idea is that John Cena will work every Monday and every Tuesday rather than the house show schedule. Or maybe he'll work house shows with each brand. But he'll do every pay-per-view, and he'll do every Monday and every Tuesday. And that
yeah, but you know what the problem with that is to me? If you have John Cena as a guy who is above all of this, and he's able to work both shows, like, that puts him at a level that nobody else can achieve, because nobody else can do that.
Well, Brock sort of can.
No, he doesn't go to SmackDown. He's never on SmackDown.
He was on SmackDown once.
This was before the brand split. When was he on SmackDown?
When him and Orton were doing the feud and they were going back on both shows.
So he made one appearance.
I think it was one appearance.
Okay. Well, anyway, my overall point stands. If you have one guy who's free to go from show to show, he's your real star.
He's your biggest star. Yeah, well, he is. He is your biggest star.
Well, I think the idea is we need to create more stars, and you're essentially holding everybody else down by not giving them that opportunity. They're all below John Cena.
Well, they are.
My point is, how do you make another John Cena if he's the only one doing this?
Fuck, you think they can make another John Cena?
Well, no, but this is not going to help.
I mean, they've been trying for years. They got nobody. You know what? Even if they had the ability to do so, and they sure don't, they don't got the guy. Who's the guy? Who's the guy out there? I mean, the best bet out of anyone was probably Nakamura, and you know, I mean, we've seen him long enough to know he ain't getting there.
No,
because they think that he's like a 12-year-old now. So he's doomed, and not doomed. That's too strong of a word. He's at a level that he's going to be, which is people are going to sing his song and they're going to like him, and he's going to be a big star, but he's not going to be John Cena.
You know, I got to say one thing, by the way, about Nakamura. So, did you see Road Dogg on Twitter today?
No, I didn't. But usually when I see Road Dogg on Twitter, I always think that it's like, I always wonder is he really that like insulated and blinded that he doesn't know what's going on? Or
I think he's being a good company man. Or
is he just being good? Well, I'll talk to you about this later, I suppose.
Okay. Well, anyway, here's what I'll say.
No. Well, I mean, just say there's certain things that he said where, I mean, I don't know. He's very argumentative and pro, but you know, I mean, he's a big wig on SmackDown, and you're going to be very defensive because people go after you and all that. It's natural, so that doesn't really bother me too much. But sometimes when I see, sometimes when I see the defensive mechanisms, it's like, okay, it's just your defensive mechanisms, and that's fine. But sometimes when I see him, I go like, does he really like it's things like where I think he really believes it and doesn't really get the big picture. It's kind of like when, did you see the thing on?
Well, let me tell you what he said.
Okay, yes, you should tell me that so I can.
So this 6-man tag last night, you've got Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Shinsuke
oh,
Nakamura.
is the thing about the entrance music?
Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, yes. And of course they do the Shinsuke Nakamura entrance during the commercial break.
Right.
And somebody asks him why, and he goes, and he admits he's being sarcastic. He goes, well, there's this thing called commercial breaks.
Well, there is. There's
and
a
I'm
thing
like,
called commercial breaks.
Yeah, but you know what? You couldn't put that commercial break during Baron Corbin's entrance.
That's actually
or Ziggler, or Owens, or Sami Zayn, or AJ Styles. Like, it had to be. Like, they didn't see it coming. It was just all of a sudden, there was a commercial break in the middle of Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance. Of course not. It's ridiculous. They could have put that commercial break in between any of those entrances. Any of them. But they did it for Nakamura's. So this idea that, oh, well, it's a commercial break. Our hands were tied. No, they weren't. It was done by design. That commercial break could have come at any time. Or he could have switched around the entrances if he knew when it was coming, and it could have been during the middle of Baron Corbin's entrance.
Come on. They know when the commercials are coming. They can make that decision anytime. The idea that they were like blindsided and we have to take this commercial right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. No, that's just okay. So that's just okay. Well, okay. That's just they made a boo-boo. They made a mistake, and they can't own up to the fact that we cut the ring entrance that people want to see for like frickin' Baron Corbin. So that's all that is.